All right, now we're starting my favorite event, Sumo Combat. We got a bunch of people who excel at Sumo Combat on our team. Right now we're trying to hype Josh up by doing the flying V chant for whatever reason, and Josh gets taken out. But hey, it's a double elimination, so no points are awarded. Anthony's really good at Sumo Combat because he really holds his own. He's a big guy, he can't get pushed out of the ring. So right there, Daniel Brown is a really good combat player, and Anthony gets into a pretty good battle with him and almost gets him right there, but then he drops his own club, unfortunately. Me, I'm kind of mediocre at Sumo Combat, but right there, fencer. Whoop. Nice and precise. I think I also get Weston too. Yeah, Weston tried to overpower, and I almost got pushed out of the ring, but then I did the old wave the club in the face trick, and that was enough to throw him off. Clark's really good at combat, though, so I don't stand a chance right here, especially since I can't catch my own club. Casey is very good at Sumo Combat. He's tall, which helps. He's got a big reach, and he can also keep a foot inside the ring, even though he's like really far out because his legs are long too. And of course, Doug. I would say Doug is probably our best Sumo Combat player because he excels at standing in one spot and juggling really well. So he can move around a little bit, but his throws are very high and accurate. He has like a turtle style. He just sort of throws high and makes attacks and waits for the other person to drop. Unfortunately, Clark is going to get out that round. Fall victim to Doug's perfect style. Oh, one errant throw. Now Josh is going to see what just happened to Doug and eliminate Matt with authority. I thought that was pretty interesting. He just comes in there and bah! Get out of here. Josh almost took Daniel's club there too, so that was pretty slick. Go ahead and rewind if you want to see that one again. You probably do want to see that one again. You know, everybody was kind of getting on a team play because we have a pretty stacked team of combat players, but there's enough talent there that was on the other teams that they could really make a good team if they found like a few other players, or if they just played more Sumo and Zombie Combat. I think we definitely did have an advantage because we played Sumo, Zombie, Kill the King, 360s Combat. We did it at 2 other conventions before we came to this one, and so we kind of knew what we were getting into going into this. Hey, nice play, Daniel. There's also some conventions coming up that we're going to play some MLC at. Oh, Daniel is just poning right now. I wonder if he's going to get through Doug. Oh, Doug says no way. He made a good play there. So there's a couple conventions coming up that we're going to be playing Major League Combat at. Philly Fest in Philadelphia, beginning of October. That's going down. And we were just talking last night about possibly getting a road trip going to Turbo Fest up in Quebec and having some Major League Combat there. I think that'd be really interesting because the international players, they are ruthless. Like, they'll attack from behind. They'll go for the wrists. They'll go for the faces, whatever. They'll do what's necessary to win combat. And actually, I think that's a good thing. Combat at conventions is generally like a bunch of people complaining like, oh, I don't want to get hurt or anything, so don't play with those air flights. And well, I'm not gonna attack at the beginning because there's too many people, and like I can see where there's some ethics and stuff like that, but this is a really cutthroat game. I really have not felt this energized about any competitive thing that I've been doing since I played like high school sports. I played hockey, I played soccer in high school, and me and Anthony and Josh, like, we all agreed this really gets your blood flowing. Like right there, I made a great play. I feel really good about myself. Foot stayed in. Unfortunately, Daniel is really good at combat, and I get knocked out. But still, it was a ton of fun to play. Ooh, Casey was on the line. So there's regular combat that you can play at conventions, and then Major League Combat just sort of takes that and amps it up another step. So there you go, 21-4. Looks like we won that round. Yeah. So we're all right at Sumo Combat. So we're getting ready for the next event, which is Kill the King, which I gotta say is my least favorite of these events because it's over so quickly. There's got to be a great number of rule changes for Kill the King, especially since there's kamikaze people that will just throw their clubs at the king or throw their club really high and then just maul the king. And so I think there has to be some sort of rule that if you do end up killing the king, you have to maintain your pattern for X amount of throws after you're done. It's really hard to judge, but yeah, Kill the King. That's the next event that's up. Right now, fixing Doug's headband is Danny Champ. He was our team manager, and water boy. He's gonna be upset if I call him the water boy, but he did get us water. We got one of those novelty 100-ounce yard of alcoholic beverages on our way back to the hotel one night, and so we filled it up with water and we're drinking out of it for this event. We thought it added some personality, some style to team play. So we're discussing strategy right now. We went with a 2-2-1 formation, 2 people in the front trying to attack, 2 people in the back trying to defend, and the king is obviously in the back. Later we moved to a 3-2 formation so that we would have the most amount of people pushing forward trying to kill the king. And yeah, right now it looks like Doug is having a little problem with his headband because his hair gets in the way. We didn't know whether we wanted to tie it Rambo style under the hair or if we wanted to do it hippie style over the hair, but hippie style made him look really, really weird, so we went with Rambo style, and we're going to see if that pays off in this next round. So here's Kill the King. I think it's best of 7, but no matter what, the total amount of rounds that we played did not last one round of Sumo Combat. So that's kind of why it stunk a little bit. It was over so quickly. If there were better rules, more of a structure, I don't know how it could be different, but it just needs to be different so that the game lasts a little longer and is more competitive. But you can see by this camera angle, I can't really get the king for the other team very well. But Doug is kind of sneaky. He stays out of the way pretty easily. I think we had just Josh doing a bulldog attack style. He's an uncaged animal, so he was like, "Arr, arr, arr," and we're like, okay, Josh, you'll get your chance. And then we set him loose and went for it. So there, Josh just stole a club, and I think he later goes on to. Oh wait, I eliminated Clark. That was good of me. Good job, Joe. So I think that was all. There's Kill the King in a nutshell, because it can literally fit in a nutshell. Or is there one more round? Yeah, there's one more round. Okay. I wonder who wins this one. Bam, Josh Horton wins this one. And there's Doug. Yay! So moving on to 360s. So here we are at my second favorite event, 360s Combat. I don't really do that well, but I chose my clip because you can actually see the round. Doug and Josh's round were filmed entirely to the left side of the screen, so you wouldn't be able to view what's going on. As you can see, I only have one camera angle, so I don't have the luxury of looking at stuff. I only make one really good play, 2 360s here, throw a club up, knock Weston down. Would have been 2 more 360s if I had caught this club right there. Unfortunately, you kind of get amped up during this game, and so you're kind of nervous about where your opponent is, so I drop that club right there. I see him, and I drop a club out of my hand right there, and that's the way it goes for me for the rest of the round. I do knock a club into Weston's face, and he gets a little injured there. Sorry, Weston. It's a rough game. But I gotta say, 360s Combat is one of the most athletically demanding things I've ever done in my entire life. You're running around, playing combat, you're doing 360s, you're trying to maintain compose so that you can control your pattern, as I am not doing, and it's really tough. There's no way to really prepare for it. So stay tuned for the finals, Team Duncan versus Team Play, and you'll see more combat.